If you want to see how I made these two amazing squid dishes by MasterChefs Brent and Theo, keep on watching. Okay, to make this peri peri squid is a very simple and quick recipe. I'm going to start off with these chilies here. I'm going to take them to the barbecue and I'm going to get them blackened all over. Once you've had your chilies on the barbecue and they've got a bit of blackening on them and they're nice and soft, put them in a container with a nice tight fitting lid. We're just going to close it up and we're going to let them steam in there for about 10 minutes or so, and then then we'll come back and we'll get all the skins off. So I've let my chilies sweat off there for a little bit. Now we're going to get the skins off. So we're just going to go ahead, peel the skin off. I've got my chilies seeded and I've put it into my little food processor here. And now I'm going to add in the garlic that I've roughly chopped. I'm going to add in the olive oil. We're also going to add in some vinegar. We're also going to add in some sugar. So now we'll get the lid on and we'll blend it to a nice smooth paste. Once you've got it nicely blended up, we're going to hit it with just a little bit of salt, because we haven't put any in yet. We will get the lid back on, just get that mixed in. Now we'll go ahead and give it a taste. That is pretty damn good. Nice and smooth. Set this aside and we'll jump on to the next step. So, time to prepare the squid. Now, in Austria, this is how they come. They're already cleaned. They're quite small. So, this is why I've got a few more instead of, just one big one. You can eat the skin. Some people remove it to make it look prettier. Others say you leave the skin on because it makes it look pretty. It's up to you, personally. So I'm going to remove half of them and leave the other half with the skin on. And we'll see how they look in the end. To remove the skin, it's very easy. You just get a paper towel and you essentially just give it a nice hard wipe, so to say. And they come right off. Just like that. Okay, so I'll go through and clean a couple more and then we'll come back. Okay, so I've gone through and I cleaned off the skin of about half. And then I just went over to the tap and I gave them all a good wash down, inside and out, just to make sure there was not any gizzards left or anything like that. Now we're going to jump on to the next step. So the rest of the squid, with my terrible light, because the sun's creeping through the vines outside, it'll be fine. So the rest of the squid, we're going to season with salt and then we're going to brush them with the sauce. Now I've set a little bit of the sauce aside because I want to use that afterwards when we eat the dish. And we'll give them a good sprinkling with salt all over, both sides. Now we got them with salt. Now we're going to give them a good brushing of the sauce. We'll give them a flip. We'll get both sides. So we got them both covered. Now I got my grill ripping hot. So we'll go outside and we'll cook them off. These are going to go super quick. It's only going to take about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes each side. Now I didn't get quite the char I was looking for on these, but I didn't want to leave them on any longer because then they would overcook and they'd be kind of rubbery. But I think they look pretty good how they are. To start off this curry, you want to get a pan on medium heat and put in some coconut oil. Once you got your coconut oil melted down, we're going to go ahead, add the shallots. We just want to keep this on a medium heat and we're just going to cook them out here so they're nice and soft. It'll take about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. I had a few technical difficulties just then. And after my shallots were ready, I went ahead and added the garlic, the tomato, the chilies, and the coriander stem. I just got a rough chop on them all, and I went ahead and bunged them all in there. Also at this stage, you got to add some curry leaf. Now, when I went to the store, I couldn't find any fresh curry leaves, but I could find these dry ones. So I just went ahead and ground them up in my mortar and pestle. So we're going to bung those in. We'll get those all stirred in. Still got this on a medium heat. So at this stage, we're going to add all our spices. So this is just turmeric, we've got some fenugreek, and we got some cumin. So we'll get all these in there and we'll just toast these off for 30-40 seconds just to wake all these spices up. Also forgot to mention, I got a celery seed in there. All the exact amounts and ingredients, as always, got to be on the website, traditionalbutnot.com. After you got those spices all toasted up, we're going to add our coconut milk in my lovely measuring jug here. Okay, so we'll get that tipped in and then we're just going to bring this up to a light simmer and we're going to simmer it away for about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so I've had it bubbling away for, it's been just over 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna add some sugar. This is coconut sugar. We'll start off with about a half a tablespoon there. And then we're also gonna add in about a tablespoon of coconut vinegar. So in that goes. And as always, we'll give it a good shake of salt. So we'll get all that mixed in and then we'll see if we need to add anything else. I just given it a taste and we're gonna have to add a little bit more sugar. And a little bit more salt. We'll mix this in and then we're just going to keep tasting and adding that until we got it exactly where we like it. We're going to set it aside until we're ready to use it. I've got some oil that's Quite hot at the moment. I'm not sure if these dried curry leaves are going to actually crisp up, but there's only one way to find out. Now, this won't take too long at all. I'm just going to dunk them in there, maybe 20 seconds. And then we'll take them out and see if they're crispy. Should be long enough. We'll get them out, we'll transfer them onto this paper towel lined plate, and we'll see if it worked. How do I get taste? It wasn't bad, but if you can get your hands on fresh ones, definitely use the fresh curry leaves. So with the curry sauce, it doesn't state this in the recipe, but I think mine needs it. I'm just gonna get the immersion blender. I'm gonna blend it a little bit because mine's a little chunkier than I would like it. So I'm just gonna pulse it a few times, and then we'll give it a check the consistency. On the recipe, I was looking at the picture, and it's got a little chunk to it, but not too much. So I'm just gonna give this a little bit more, and then we'll jump on to the next step. We're gonna transfer most of the sauce into another bowl. We're gonna leave behind about 3 tablespoons worth of the sauce. That looks about good. We're going to set this curry sauce aside, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients to this one. To this mixture, we're going to add the juice of 1 lime. I'm going to squeeze out of my fancy new press juicer I got here. Squeezes the bejeebers out of them. Also to this, we're going to add a tablespoon of vegetable oil. Now I'm going to use the oil I fried the curry leaves in, because I think that that's what it's meant by it. We'll get all this mixed up, and then we'll get the squid in there. So we're just going to go ahead and plop the squid in. We'll get all this mixed up. Now I've already got my grill preheated, so we'll go out there and we'll cook this off for about 2 minutes aside. It's going to be super quick. I'm going to be testing this one first because I think this one's a little more spicier. You know, I don't want to ruin the whole palate of mine. Get into it. We'll get a little bit of that sauce up in there. I was always a little bit scared of cooking calamari because I thought it was going to be rubbery. It just turned out that I was overcooking it by a long way before. But this, just cooking it super quick, that's the way to go. I think if I could get my hands on some fresh curry leaves, that'd be quite tasty, but because these were dried, yeah, they're a bit so-so. But all in all, that's a pretty good curry dish. Now let me get onto this peri peri. I'm not usually one to squeeze lemon all over my stuff, but we'll give it a bit of a spritz. Not too much, just a little bit. Got a little bit more sauce. The reason why I picked this one is because when he cooked the whole thing and he just puts it on the plate, when I saw the shorts to the show, that's what I saw and I was like, that's what I want to cook. It looked absolutely amazing. Then I read the recipe and it was super basic, and I was to film it, it would have literally a 2-minute video. So then I moved on to this one and I made this. And while I was cooking it, the smell that comes off this curry is absolutely amazing. And then you put it over the squid, it is very, very good. But after eating this one, this is hands down my favorite out of the 2 dishes. I don't know what it is. That is just absolutely amazing. So simple, yet so, so good.